with the pace of Iqbal. Oh, a nicely bowled outswinger. The first runs come. Bangladesh off the mark. 83 to chase in this first T20 international. The practice match was cancelled due to rain, so Pakistan did not have a chance to have a look at the wicket. They had to come straight into the first match. A right-hand, left-hand batting combination presented as the two Bangladeshi openers in the crease. And in the commentary box, it's Ahmed bin Parvez. And joining me is Shahnur Rabbani.
Thank you, Parvez. This time it's onto the pads. And one more run here. There is swing on offer. We've noticed that when Sharna was bowling as well. It's so different right now with Diana Baig bowling. For Pakistan, if they don't get wickets early, you feel Bangladesh will run away with this.
Big chance for Bangladesh to pick up their first win against Pakistan in home soil. It's been a bit of a surprise. Pakistan still unbeaten in Bangladesh. The previous 6 encounters they had at home for Bangladesh. And the overall statistic of 17 matches between these two teams prior to this, Pakistan came victorious on 15 occasions while Bangladesh won just 2. But the recent most memorable one was the bronze medal fight between the two sides in China, where Bangladesh chased down a low total of 63 runs, came out victorious by 5 wickets. Shamima Sultana and Murshida Khatun, the two openers, both off the mark. Diana Baig getting some swing with the new ball under lights, but doesn't seem to generate a lot of pace. Mostly depends on swing. She's got a slip. Oh, that was a nice one. Sipped off the wicket, swung away from Shamima. She drove the ball but drove thin air. Bangladesh dugout still very chirpy and harmonious in anticipation of a famous victory over Pakistan in home soil. 83 is the target they have to chase. Two batters already padded up though. Anything can happen anytime. Cricket is a game of glorious uncertainty. Oh, that was another one. Unplayable almost. Diana Baig ends up with 2 excellent deliveries. First over done and dusted. Bangladesh 2 for no loss.
The Tigresses require 81 runs with 10 wickets in hand in the remaining 19 overs. Current run rate of just 2, but required rate is pretty manageable as well, just 4.26, and we'll be seeing pace, I believe, from both ends for Pakistan. Murshida, who scored 1 run from her first delivery, and then Shamima Sultana, she was tested in the last over by Diana Baig with her outswingers. Now, once again, we can see just the final touches being put onto this field setup. There is a slip in place with the swing on offer. I'm pretty sure that'll stay. Something tells me an early wicket could turn this into a low-scoring thriller. This time it's driven straight back past the bowler. There are 2 fielders converging. Single will be taken. That vacant region between mid-on and mid-off, that was pierced quite nicely by Murshida Khatun. And Shamima Sultana, she will be back on strike. A left-right combination in the opening for Bangladesh, and they seem to be pretty adamant on having these left-right combinations in the batting order as it goes along. We've seen that with the men's team as well. And I think on many occasions it becomes difficult as a bowler to bowl to a left-hander and then a right-hander, because you have to change your angle. You have to constantly change your fielder accordingly as well. This time it's cut, but I believe there was no contact with the bat. So Shamima not having the easiest of times out there.
Sadia Iqbal, very tall left-arm spinner, brought into the attack. 3 for no loss. Bangladesh chasing a target of 82, which means they need to score at just above 4 and over. That was a nicely bowled one right onto the off stump. An equally good shot into the gap for another single. Shamima Sultana, a very experienced cricketer, as well as Murshida Khatun, was into her 34th T20i. Had 569 runs under her belt prior to this game, the high score of 77. An unbeaten knock. So she doesn't have to score 77 tonight. She just needs to maybe score half of it, and then Bangladesh could be in a good position to win this game. Murshida Khatun back on strike. Just a couple of runs from the first 3 deliveries this time around. Soft push. Some slow turn being achieved by Sadia Iqbal, which doesn't seem to be enough. She needs to skid the ball a bit, to hurry the batter, try to hit the stumps if possible. They need early wickets, Pakistan.
It's not about how many you score, it's about how quickly you score as well, I believe. So another very good over being bowled by Sadia Iqbal. Partnership of 4 from 10 deliveries. Do you think going about it slow and steady at the beginning in the power play overs is the right way to go?
I think so. If you know the target, that makes things a bit more easier to pace your innings, to keep wickets in hand for imminent disaster if that happens. The batters being pretty confident with both their stroke making and their defense. Another over gone. 4 for no loss. The Bangladesh women won the toss, put Pakistan on bat, restricted them to just 82. We've seen some low scores in the previous T20Is played in Bangladesh. The recently concluded series between Bangladesh and India women brought in some low scoring games, but really nail-biting encounters went till the last over. And on on the 3 occasions, India edged Bangladesh due to experience. Bangladesh won 1, very famous victory for them. That slashed hard. Fielder in the gully could have helped Pakistan in that instance, but batters safely scamper for a single. Still no boundaries struck by the Bangladesh openers. They don't need that, I guess. Required run rate, as you see, is just 4.37. Just need to be patient enough and look for the hittable deliveries.
Perhaps. Also important to just take singles as much as possible. Maybe doubles in between. Once again, it's a good delivery and well defended. But I think you can't go into your shell at the very beginning, because if you do that, and let's say one of you lose your wickets, one of Murshida, one of Shamima, they get out, then it's more pressure on the next batter, because the required run rate is only going to be creeping and climbing. So if you're playing an innings of 2 from 6 balls or 3 from 8 balls, you have to make sure that you find a way to accelerate and score and not just eat up deliveries, because this is a game where you have to score a certain amount of runs within a certain amount of time. Bangladesh requires 78 runs with 17.4 overs remaining. This one is driven, finds the gap, won't go all the way. There are 3 fielders giving chase, but 2 runs to the good here. Murshida, that will give her some confidence. Not fully middled, but much better execution. And I think they need to be driving a bit more.
A nice shot. Found the gap. Wasn't a big gap, to be honest. It's just the mid-wicket and the mid-on fielders standing pretty close by. But Murshida still found the gap. Need a couple of runs for her, taking her to 4 from 7. Diana Baig, another full length delivery, trying to find that swing, trying to go through that gate between bat and pad. Murshida Khatun on this occasion well behind the line of the ball. They haven't done much wrong, Pakistan, in their bowling so far. They've bowled 16 deliveries, they've been pretty accurate. But accuracy won't count if you can't pick up wickets, since the target that Bangladesh has to chase is not a big one.
This time it's on leg, but another quick single, nothing more. I believe it'll be off a leg by, yes, the umpire, he signals it, and Bangladesh move on to 7. In fact, 8 for no loss after 2.5 overs. Yet to the boundary on the power plays. Diana Baig into her second over. After this, she'll have 2 more overs left. Pakistan, they've got bowling options, and they will definitely be using them. Shamima Sultan on strike. Now she goes for the big shot, finds the gap. There is a fielder giving chase. She does well. In the meantime, 2 more runs are scored. And after 3 overs, Bangladesh women are 10 for no loss.
It's been a solid start. It's a good start from Murshida and Shamima Sultana, both attempting those singles and doubles, trying to find those gaps. The outfield doesn't look very fast. Need to really hit them clean in order to fetch those boundaries. In Pakistan's innings, their batters found out how difficult it is to score boundaries in this wicket. The ball kept a bit low. Spinners really did a good job for Bangladesh, and especially Nahida getting yet another 5-wicket haul in her illustrious T20i career. The previous best, as I mentioned before, was 5 for 12. She beat that, and now her best bowling figures are 5 wickets for just 8 runs, and that came in this match. Nice drive there, but she couldn't pierce the gap. Murshida Khatun must be a fan of Shakib Al Hasan, has got 75 behind her back. Although she opens, she's a left-handed batter, trying to score those runs for Bangladesh to give them a good start. Winning start would mean a lot in this series, just the 3 games. The first win would give both these teams a huge advantage. The captain herself is trying to pull the strings. Right-handed off spinner, very accurate, has got a lot of wickets in T20Is, very experienced, trying to do the matchup game against the left-hander Murshida Khatun.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll like that. It's driven and no run on this occasion. No timing on it, no power on it. Not sure about this approach from Bangladesh women at the beginning with the power plays on. We've got 10 wickets. It's not a big total. Perhaps you want to be playing some more shots, because if you do get out at any moment, and we've seen batters not finding it easy to get set, and just as I was saying, there was pressure right there. I think there was an inside edge. The ball won't go all the way. It's fielded near the boundary, and in the meantime, 2 more runs. Now they come off byes, yes, so the umpire signals that they don't come off the bat. Bangladesh requires 73 runs, in fact 71 runs from 16.2 overs. So it's still an easy target, you feel, but they need to up the ante. It's been 3.4 overs, just the 12 runs, no boundaries yet. You can tell that the pressure is there on the batters. Murshida, the last shot that she tried to play, coming down the track. And Nida Dar is bowling a very good channel. She's experienced. She knows what to do.
Looking at her fielders, Pakistan trying to put some pressure using the catching fielders within the circle. This could be the first wicket. The umpire, though, goes to the TV umpire for a potential run-out decision. Could be very, very unlucky for Shamima Sultana down at the non-striker's end. It was hit hard by Murshida Khatun and might have deflected off Nidadar's fingers onto the non-striking end stumps. And if Shamima Sultana, in any case, was out of her crease, she might not have been back. She's already making the walk back to the dugout. Bangladesh lose their first wicket in very unfortunate circumstances. As we look at the action replay, it was a fiercely hit straight drive, and although a bit in a blur, the batter knows she's gone, and she makes the job easier for the third umpire by walking out herself.
Now, the replays don't really give us any conclusive evidence to her being out. So, if that is the case, now when the stumps are broken from this angle, it doesn't look like her bat is outside.
Could be really touch and go. This angle gives a better picture, a clearer picture. The ball definitely hit Nidadar's fingers. We just need to have a look at the point where the bails were up. Yes, her bat was well above ground, or that means she will be having to walk off. She'd already made quarter of the distance back to the pavilion, and she stood still waiting for the final decision, and finally it came. Ali Arman raising his finger. TV umpire does a good job. The first wicket falls for Bangladesh. Some respite for Pakistan. Constant pressure Nidadar put in throughout that over, resulting in a run out. Pretty unfortunate one for Shamima Sultana. Couldn't make her innings longer. She gets out for scoring just 5 from 9. So Murshida will have a new partner. Could be Nigar Sultana, or it could be anyone else. Nigar Sultana has been in very good nick, especially in white ball cricket, both formats, in the one-dayers against India. She did well in the T20s as well. She's been an inspirational captain for Bangladesh and led the team from the front. Brilliant, brilliant player. So the new batter comes in. Mustari is the new batter at number 3.
Yeah, Subhana Mustari. Now that's an interesting call. One has to really question how the opening batters actually got themselves into this trouble. Obviously, it's an unfortunate dismissal, but as I was saying all along, perhaps the way to go about it would have been to be a bit more proactive, a bit more aggressive. Right now, you're looking at a match which might just go down the wire, and Bangladesh, they don't have the upper hand, which they had when they were bowling. So a very good over, and Pakistan, they'll be happy with what they're doing with the ball. As you can see, after the 2 overs by Diana Baig, it's been spin all along, and it makes sense as well on more than one front, because that's exactly what Bangladesh did, and they turned the screws on. They made sure they choked Pakistan into submission and made sure that they took the wickets when the pressure was on, and Pakistan are trying to do the same thing against Bangladesh, giving them a taste of their own medicine.
Subhana Mustari, the non-striker's end, really try and scamper for another single there. One more run added to the scoreboard. 13 for the loss of 1. Shamima Sultana, first wicket to fall for Bangladesh. Fortunately run out through a deflection from a strong-handed Murshida Khatun strike. Subhana Mustari, right-handed batter, is on strike against Sadia Iqbal. She's got some tall legs, Subhana. She's got good reach. Came onto the pitch of the ball, which is exactly what you have to do at this point. Power plays are sometimes very tricky. You have a lot of fielders in the inner circle. You usually find it hard to find those gaps to get those singles. You need to try and put a few of those shots through this infield, which Bangladesh have failed to do. Into the 5th over, still no boundaries, no sixes from the Bangladeshi batters. Murshida Khatun and Subhana Mostari putting a bit of a grind in the center of the wicket. Finally, Subhana gets another one. The over ends with a single. Murshida Khatun and Subhana Mostari, the batters in the crease for Bangladesh. Target isn't a big one. You really can have that luxury of playing out a few dot balls, trying to get themselves a bit set on the wicket. But as you said, Shanur, Pakistan will really come up with a lot of spin bowling, because they've also hacked what's to be done in this wicket, exactly what Bangladesh did to them.
Yeah, and as we can see, their captain, Nida Dar, she's setting up her field. The power plays are still on, so just the two fielders that can stay outside the inner ring. Sadia Iqbal's last over was a good one. Now we can see Nida Dar right on the money from the beginning. Subhana Mostari, Murshida Khatun, she recently got a big 100 for Bangladesh in ODI cricket. And that was close to the outside edge. Subhana Mostari looking a bit tentative with her